Well, good day, my friends. It's your old pal, Jordan the Lion. How are you all doing today? I hope you said well. I'm doing excellent. We're starting our day here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And to me, ever since I was a young kid, the one thing that I always think about when I think of Fort Lauderdale is not spring break, it is Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise. I loved the first one when I was a kid, and when the second one came out, my mom took me to see it in the movie theater. Then we saw it at the drive-in. I loved this movie as a kid and always wanted to go see where some of the filming locations were, so I tracked down a handful of them and we're gonna go see them today. Daze with Jordan the Lion, Lewis Skolnick, Booger, Poindexter, and Wormser. It all begins now. The limo driving the guys to their Pink Flamingo Royal Flamingo Hotel, and they're passing along this beach, and they all keep taking turns sticking their head out the window yelling things. Okay, so I noticed right away that they have replaced the retaining wall that used to be there. It's a much newer one, but you see them looking at all the beachgoers on that beach right there. Pretty much everything has been a little updated since then, put a little bit more style into it, but truly a great moment seeing a bunch of nerds on a beach for the first time, just taking in the culture change.
I love you!
So when we see Lewis look out the window and he sees a woman using the shower and he goes, "Hey, you missed a spot!" And I gotta mention what a great soundtrack this is. The Nerds in Paradise theme song is totally amazing, and it's because it was done by Devo. The whole soundtrack was Mark Mothersbaugh.
We're staying at the Royal Flamingo! 555-43!
Take me back to paradise! So a little further up the road from where we just were, when you get to the Birch State Park section, that's when they're in the convertible with Funky Town playing in the background. And the girls are supposed to show the Tri-Lambs a good time, so they come to the beach. So then we get the scene of them all out here partying on the beach, the girls and all the lambdas. And that's when Lewis is asked to put some suntan lotion on the back of Sonny's back.
Lewis?
Yeah?
Would you rub some of this lotion on my back?
Yeah.
Thanks.
He squirts it and gets a ton, ends up throwing it into the sand. And later on, once they get arrested, that's when he makes the comment, "You know, you're not worth the suntan lotion I put on your back."
What are you doing?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And then while they're partying here, that's where the girls say, "Hey, we need some more beer." So the guys decide to go off and do that beer run.
Bruce? Yeah, we'll get you some Bruce.
The Embassy Suites. So this we see in the movie doubling as the Royal Flamingo Hotel. We see their limo pull up right here. And the boys get out right there at the front doors. Same front doors in the movie. So they end up pulling up right here, hopping out, and we see this again later in the movie after Stewart is fired. He comes they basically throw him completely out and he comes sliding out here into all the baggage of the Tri-Lambs. And that's when Lewis says, "Safe!"
What?
And Sonny comes out and they start talking, all of them right here. And Stewart says that he got fired. Lewis tries to go in there and get him his job back.
I just want to thank you for standing up for me. I guess you got fired, huh?
Yeah.
Fired? Who fired you, Stuart?
Let's go on in, take a look. Looks very similar to the way it did in the movie, actually. And they have some of the same murals on the wall, like the flamingos and stuff over here. Very cool. In the movie, the front desk that they're all trying to check in would have been right over here. We see them all walking in right here. And that's when Lewis says, hey, if y'all want to go check out the pool, I'll check us in. And they all take off down that way.
I mean, I'll do it if you guys want to hit the beach kind of early.
Booger starts taking off his pants right here and starts like hopping down the way. Pretty cool to see that. You get like a little turnaround of when they come in.
Look at the size of those coconuts.
But it's a scene right here, literally right here, where when they're trying to check in, Tiny is checking in, and Stuart is up on the ladder messing with the coconuts that were up there, the fake coconuts.
May I help you, sir?
I'm here for the council.
Whoa! And Lewis ends up falling into his ladder and knocking the coconut off right there, and it falls down and hits Tiny on the head. And that's the first time that Lewis meets Stuart, who is played by Barry Sobel.
What's your problem, man?
Lots of problems, sir. Starting with a very painful childbirth.
Sorry.
But then he eventually, Lewis gets to come and check in, and he's checking in right over here with Sunny. She's the trainee played by Courtney Thorne Smith.
Yeah? Yes. Sorry.
Of course, Lewis is trying to charm her, but it's right here we find out that the Tri-Lamb's fame precedes them, and that they've been blocked from staying at this hotel because the manager is an alpha beta. Unfortunately, the pool scenes were not done here. The pool that they used, it was actually an old hotel called the Galt Ocean Mile. That had just closed before filming, and so the whole place was empty. So the production basically took over that whole place. They used the pool scene there for all the pool scenes, and it's too bad that's gone because Joe Namath did a famous Sports Illustrated interview from there, and there are all kinds of photos of him around there. But then they also used it for their production house and the parking lots where they built all those intricate like pyramid sets when they go off to that Seminole Indian tribe ritual and all that stuff. A lot of that stuff is all built out there, so it wasn't here. They still have an island section, but it's changed significantly since the movie. But right here's our shot we get when Courtney Thorne Smith is dealing with the unhappy customers because they said, I thought I heard barn animals last night.
Why don't I do this? Would you give me a complimentary pass, please?
And power tools, and so she gives them the free stay coupon, and her manager is over here and sees it and comes over here and tells her not to be giving out free nights while he's the manager, or else it's going to come out of her check.
I thought I heard power tools.
I am very, very sorry. Enjoy the rest of your stay.
And then slaps her on the butt as she walks away right here. And then Stuart, Barry Sobel, comes over and starts telling the manager that he should go apologize to her.
Get it? So get your little ass back to work.
And that's when the manager calls him a choice word, and the next thing you see is Stuart getting thrown and literally like baseball sliding right down that way, right out the doors to that scene I already just showed you out front.
Guys. What?
So right here would have been the former location of the telephone booth when they're all trying to find a place to stay.
So how far is Daytona Beach from Fort Lauderdale? What?
It was all wood paneling and everything right here.
Fort Lauderdale Men's Club, right?
And the way that I was able to tell is because when they're all lined up here, there's a turnaround shot of the office, and Roger and the manager of the hotel are looking out this door, and it had a different sign there at the moment.
Daze, do we really need a room?
But that's when Roger looks at him and goes, these nerds just don't give up. I'll deal with them. All right, we got everything we can get here. The actual convention, where they have that whole convention, everything, that room was also at the old closed hotel that has been completely demolished now. Our next location was a really hard matchup because it's gone, but I found an article that was written right after the filming of the movie that said it was right here on this section of Brickell Avenue. Let me show you where it was. So this is kind of cool because this is part of the old look of this street. When the movie was shot, you remember that they can't get into their hotel, so they have to book a reservation at the Coral Essex Hotel. And there's kind of like a little walkway, like a walk up in front and everything. The way it was laid out was they said they brought in like 75,000 pounds of sand and covered this street in sand because at the time, this whole section, all those buildings were run down. What they used for the Coral Essex was at one point known as it was called the Lauderdale Hotel. And so going down this whole section was when they would walk into the hotel. And then there were times when you'd see that there was like it would say the amusement park. There was an amusement park sign and a little Ferris wheel.
Oh, look, honey, nerds. Are any of those our waiter?
That was all down at this end. But let me show you what's down there now. And I'll actually insert part of them walking in the movie so you can kind of see the feel of how it was in the movie right here.
I can't believe this. I've never been so humiliated in all my life.
Oh, no, you're not, Booger. We were chosen by Adams College to be their representatives. We're gonna stay right here and represent them. Oh, Lewis. I really don't know about you guys.
So right down here is the section that the Coral Beach Amusement Park sign would have been, and where the Ferris wheel was. Look what they have now. How amazing is that? This giant statue of a woman opening her chest, ripping open her chest, showing her heart, and you can walk right through. Isn't that amazing? So here's what it used to look like. And then where Coral Essex and that strip was right there. We're gonna head over to where the liquor store scene is. Those three girls and the nerds go partying at the beach, and the girls tell them that they want some more booze. So the guys take off in their car, not the nerds' car, but the girls' car, or they think it's the girls' car, to go get liquor, and the girls stay behind. And once the nerds leave, we hear the girl say, "Don't worry, Sonny, we'll be out of here soon." She goes, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, we're just meant to have them take off in the car." So you're gonna see what happens next. All right, here's our next location. Believe it or not, they come pulling in the convertible right into here, and it was called Talent Liquors even then. Same exact place. There was a car parked here in this first spot, and then they park right here with the big convertible with the second spot, and they go in to get their liquor. And it's funny, that's when they're walking in, and Lewis says, he goes, "I'm gonna go ahead and drain the lizard."
Okay, you guys, you get the suds. I gotta go drain the lizard.
Bye.
When they're in there walking around, Wormser had made all these fake IDs before they came to the trip, and he drops down one of the fake IDs for the guy inside, and the guy looks at it and he goes, "Get anything you want, Admiral." So they're pulling everything that they want to buy out inside, and we see a shot from the front doors looking out here, because you can see the cop car ends up pulling and pinning in their car right here. And then when they come walking out with the beer and everything, they got kegs basically. Wormser comes out and he goes, "I got it, I got it, I got it."
I got beer. I got beer. I got
Freeze!
bust.
And they arrest him right there. And of course Lewis, they're arresting Lewis with the shotgun right over here. These are where the phone booths used to be.
Grand theft order. Roger Lattimore reported this vehicle stolen this morning from the Royal Flamingo.
Oh, what's this all about, officer? And the guy says, a Roger Lattimore reported his car stolen this morning. He goes, oh, we didn't steal the car. We got it from the 3 beautiful women who are our dates.
Oh, no. That's a misunderstanding, officer. See, that car was lent to us by the 3 beautiful girls who are our dates.
And the officer looks at him and says, 3 beautiful women, huh? You're right. And then just takes him to jail. So our next scene is actually at the jail, and then them getting out of jail, and that location is right there. Let's go over there. So you can see Talent Liquors right over here where we just were. And the next scene is actually at the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. They filmed it here because the guys get arrested. They're inside the holding tank in here. And you remember that's when the big guy comes up and starts messing with Lewis. And Lewis says like, I've had a really bad day. I don't want to be messed with right now. And then the guy keeps doing it, keeps poking him. And Lewis goes off and says, get out of my face before I really get mad.
You know, it just occurred to me. The amendment Lewis co-signed could be used against us to destroy them.
And then Stewart comes and he's waiting in the lobby because he and Sonny have just bailed the guys out. So at the time of filming, that glass piece over here actually had the 1300 address that's right there. And they're walking out of these doors. And that's when Booger is saying, you know, we got to do something about this. And Lewis says, what's the point? You know, like, we should just give up, basically. And
We just don't fit in. They'll just find another way to try to get rid of us. I mean, you know them, Booger. They'll send somebody else like her.
What?
Booger's saying, oh, we can't do that. And then Stewart comes over and says, you're the one that taught me to stand up for myself. Lewis says, come on, man, they're just gonna send somebody else to try and trick us or foil us like her. And they points to Sonny. And then he says, don't you get it? He goes, it doesn't matter if we're snazzy dressers or have good hygiene.
We just don't fit in.
He's walking right over here and he says that line right here, right where the opening is in the little sidewalk. He goes, don't you get it, man? People just don't want us around. And that's when the Alpha Betas pop out right there and grab Lewis by his shirt. And the one guy goes, no shit, Skolnick. And they throw them all in that bus that was parked right here.
Around.
No shit, Skolnick.
And Ogre pops out too, and you hear Poindexter go, Ogre! So they all end up getting filed onto that bus. And then the next thing we see, they're on a boat, and the Alpha Betas are taking them out to sea and throwing them overboard. This was the real police station and the police station in the movie. So here's a picture of the island that we end up seeing them swim to. And I was just showing it to Scott. I said, Scott, does that island look familiar to you? And Scott, what did you say?
This is Gilligan's Island.
It sure is. They actually use Gilligan's Island. Well, my friends, we're gonna call it a day. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I've always said if I ever made it to Fort Lauderdale, I wanted to see these locations, and it was cool to get to share them with you. Thank you all for watching. If you're new around here, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and hit the bell notification for updates on my channel. Have a great night, and goodbye.